Oh,
Hello,
hello.
hello. Hi, Pavel. Hello, Julio. Welcome to Verbling. Hi, everyone. I'm Teacher Oakley. Hi, and today we're going to have a very serious discussion. This is my serious face. Uh, we're going to talk about freedom of the press. What does that mean? Is there freedom of the press in your company, in your country? I mean, uh, what does freedom of the press mean? Is it as far as the government, as far as the reporters themselves? When reporters cite unnamed sources in the White House, did they do an interview with President Obama's dog or a janitor? Who knows? What does freedom of the press mean, and how much leeway should the press have when reporting? Uh, all right, pretty heavy. First of all, let's see if we can define it. Well, first of all, let me say hello to everyone. Hi, Pavo. Hi, Julio. Hello, Esmeralda. Back
Hello,
again.
teacher. I'm
Back
back
again
again.
already. Wow, great. And hello, Mohammed.
Hello, sir.
Uh, okay. Mohammed, I'm going to start with you because you got a little shorted last class. So I'll start with you. What does freedom of the press mean to you? What is that? What do you think that means? Really, it's freedom of the press is kind of open to interpretation. It could mean different things to different people. What does it mean to you, Mohammed?
Freedom of press.
Yeah, the press, meaning reporters, newspapers, magazines, television, journalists, journalism. Yes, Mohammed. Any ideas? This is a very excuse me, a very common phrase in English, freedom of the press, and it's actually, in the United States at least, one of the founding principles of the Constitution, that we must have a free press. But what does that mean, a free press? Oh, Mohammed. Mohammed has just been censored by. Okay. Just kidding. Okay. All right. Censorship. Oh, that's another word that might come up. Censorship is when the government actually does not allow some journalism, or they don't allow certain news agencies, or they don't allow certain stories. That's called censorship. They don't. Some things are censored. Hello, Ken. Hi, Ken. I didn't even get a chance to say hello last class.
Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. Okay, we're going to talk about freedom of the press, and we're starting out. What do you think freedom of the press is? Pavel, for you, what is freedom of the press? What does
Uh,
that mean, even?
okay. I think it's a very difficult term and
Yeah.
terms, very difficult terms. Uh, uh, I think maybe press or people minds will be a freedom, but if uh, some newspaper or blog or people read many people, maybe 10,000 or 100,000 or million thousand people. It's a big responsibility uh, to write something for this newspaper.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. First of all, the press has. You're saying. I think you're saying the press has a major responsibility
Yes.
to the people.
For example, I have a site. It's looks like a blog,
Mm-hmm.
and 10,000 people read this site every day. And in one site, I can write on into this, into this blog uh, anything. But I I want to think uh, about many things which I will write into this blog.
Okay. Uh, well, of course, when we're talking about media, all media, of course, and especially in journalism, at least in Western cultures, really, there's two kinds of reporting. So let's first of all, there is supposed to be the actual reporting, which is a report of events that happened, just what happened. That's it.
Mm,
And then there is opinion. Okay.
opinion.
Most blogs, for example, are opinions. These should okay. There's another question. Should the lines between what is reported news and what is opinion? Maybe that's something we can talk about. Are these lines blurry? How clear are these lines? Where is the line? I don't know. That's something that when we consider freedom of the press, maybe we have to consider. Julio, for you,
Yes.
what is freedom of the press? What does that mean?
Well, freedom of the press is to give the power to journalism to express their whatever they want to say.
Whatever they
And
want to say.
yeah, and at the end, it's a right that it's supposed to be protected by the law, and it basically goes by the hand with the freedom of speech, which
Okay.
is but I guess that's how I define it. Like just to be have the liberty to say whatever you want to say without being censored by the government or other parties.
Okay. You said goes by the hand. The usual phrase is goes hand in
Hand by
hand. Hand
hand in
in
hand.
hand.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
goes hand in hand. Okay, with freedom of speech, which okay is undeniably, I think, in my opinion, undeniably, I agree. They're intertwined. They're definitely parts of the same idea, at least. I think. Uh, okay, another thing, but if you can say anything, of course, most countries have rules about slander or libel. These are basically telling lies publicly, and newspapers, of course. Freedom of speech as well. An individual speaking about someone else, or the press speaking about someone. We also have the possibility of slander or libel, meaning you're lying about someone, or you're saying very derogatory, negative things. Uh, where are the lines when it comes to freedom of the press? I don't know. Uh, welcome to the class, Heidi. Again. Hi, Heidi.
Nice to see you again. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, previous class. I was waiting
Okay.
for my French teacher, but she was absent. But suddenly she called me, so I had a lesson after that.
Okay. No problem. No problem. No problem at all. And welcome, Chow. Hi, Chow.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, hey. I'm good. We got a heavy topic. We're talking freedom of the press. So yeah, pretty heavy here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to Ken. Ken,
Mhm.
what does freedom of the press mean to you? And also, if you want to add on and tell me a little bit about the freedom of the press in your country as well.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay. How can I say? Japan has a distinctive system called press club. So the major newspaper joined the press club. It's a kind
Press
of cartel.
press club.
Yeah, press
Okay,
club is
thank
a
you.
kind of cartel. And the major newspaper can get a free access to the news conference. So freelance journalists fight against that, especially after the internet comes. Many citizens began to know that. Before that, if the newspaper don't report that, not so many people know that. What is a press club? But now, many people know that. So it's somewhat contrary situation. Kind of the foundation of the one of the fundamental kind of function of the press is, to check the authorities, to check the system. But this press company itself made a cartel, and they try to control or manipulate the information. That's the one character of Japanese press. And now Japanese press transparency is number 11 in the world, maybe 10 years ago. But after that, especially the earthquake and especially nuclear power plant accidents happened. After that, a lot of malinformation was said in the press, and manipulation happened. So now it's 55 now in the world.
55?
Yeah, dropped rapidly after that.
My goodness. Ouch. Dropping
Yeah,
like a stone,
yeah,
we might
uh,
say.
Japanese measure.
My.
So some people talk in the SNS or SNS site as well as correct information. I mean, mass measure press. So I think compared such information can more reality things happening in the world.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, if I understand, let me check. All right. So in Japan, there is something called the press club. So, in other
Yeah.
words, if you're part of the press club, for example, you would be invited to a speech or a special event Abe was present at.
Yeah.
But if you're not, no?
Yeah. If you are not a
Yes.
press club member, you cannot attend the press conference. But
Right. That's what I,
yeah,
okay.
so that's a kind of the station. So information, only the mass media can get correct information. Such a
Ah,
yeah, that's a problem, clearly problem of Japanese
okay.
mass media.
All right. As opposed to independent reporters or independent journalists or independent news outlets.
Yeah, somewhat
Right.
government admitted to join the freelance journalists to the news conference, but it's not still free. Independent journalists sometimes cannot get the news conference.
Okay. And by free, you don't mean money. You mean
Not
they're just barred.
yeah, it's
Oh,
not completely,
okay. Open.
complete access.
Open.
Yeah, open.
Open. You
Yeah.
could say is better. Okay.
Right.
Open. Yeah. Another interesting point you brought up is it's a check on the government. In fact, in the United States, they call the press the fourth estate. Okay, and what that means is
Oh, I think that the teacher just got blocked.
Yeah,
And I don't know why.
muted.
Verbum chat, I think, doesn't work. Only Google Chat.
Only Google Chat, okay.
Hey, Oakley, we cannot hear you.
Muted?
It is strange that his Lulu is back now. I cannot click on that.
What happened?
I
Teacher,
know. Yeah,
leave
the
us.
teacher. Yeah, but he'll be joining very soon. This is the second time I've seen something, the same thing happening to a teacher.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it's
Why?
like, I don't know, they get blocked for something.
That's strange.
So let's talk something.
hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Oakley, what
Welcome
happened?
back. Already.
What happened? I think I've been censored. I think the National Security Agency and I don't know, the Secret Service of Russia and whatever Mexican authorities, as well as the Chinese, you know, the PLA in China and the Japanese Secret Service have all shut me down for talking to you people. That's what happened. Horrible. Can we put up with this, people? Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, I was talking about the fourth estate in the United States. Okay, the three estates: the judiciary, the judges, the executive branch, the president and the White House, and the Congress are the three estates over here considered to actually be a kind of an adjunct part of the government in the United States is the press, and it's called the fourth estate because, as Ken pointed out, it is in fact supposed to be a kind of a check on the other three pillars of the government. As a matter of fact, that is supposed to be the function of the press in the United States, and supposed to be, definitely. I use that phrase loosely. So, okay, I'm just adding to what Ken was saying. Very interesting, Ken. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Esmeralda, in Mexico, does
Yeah.
freedom of the press exist? Is freedom of the press? Is there a censorship? What is the state?
You know something? Supposedly, it's there's some freedom about it, but in the real life, real thing is not. It is not. I mean, it's been happening many things about it because in Mexico, when journalism are trying to speak or to speak up about all the delinquency, or when they try to talk about uh, stuff that has been happening here in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
well, they sometimes the corruption, they don't like to be touched or something, and freedom actually doesn't exist here in Mexico. really doesn't. I mean, it's difficult. They have to choose the topic, and they have to choose what words are going for saying or for saying something,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to choose every single word in order not to get or not to get mad or not to get mad at someone. I
Okay.
don't
Okay.
know.
Not
But
to
it's not freedom.
not to alienate someone. Okay. Who shuts down stories in Mexico? Who would do that? Is it just actual political pressure on do the newspapers themselves censor themselves, or does the government actually censor stories?
I think a little bit of all of them,
Both.
or all of, yeah, I think so. There is some political problems. They shouldn't talk about any political problem or something that it will affect them. So that's what I told you. They have to look for the right words to say something in order not to um I don't know. What about if I said to take advantage of the situation? I don't know.
Okay.
Kind of things like that.
Okay, they have to, in English, you might say they have to choose their words carefully. Okay.
All right.
Or,
They have to choose their words carefully.
or another common collocation in English, useful. They have to tread carefully, meaning they have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, you can use this phrase for many things. You tread carefully. You have to be extremely careful how you proceed.
Tread. The word
Tread.
tread. Tread. Could
Tread
you please
actually
write
is
it down?
sure. It's in the Verbling chat, which
Oh,
is
okay.
working for me actually. Before I left and came back, Pavel said that it wasn't. The Verbling chat isn't working. Is it not
Hmm.
working for many of you? I don't know. It's working for me, but I'm the only one in it.
Yeah, that's what I can see.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll switch to Google Chat.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
it's much better. I think so.
thanks, Chow, for being the secretary and moving my information. Thank you. Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay. Let's. Okay. Hang on. Well, before I talk to Chow, uh, Heidi. Heidi. In your view, okay, Ken had some very interesting things to say about Japan. I'm curious, do you have a view about freedom of the press in the world today?
World.
In the world, or at least about Japan?
In Japan, maybe the journalist, if the journalist get some information, they can publish anything. No rule to control.
Okay, different question, but related. Has mass media, where do you get news from? Or not you specifically, but people in Japan. Have
Usually,
Yeah, but okay. My question is: are there mass media companies in Japan like CNN, BBC,
Japanese
Fox
TV,
News, Al Jazeera?
Japanese TV, or many people are still subscribe the newspaper.
Okay,
Mm.
interesting. Okay, who owns the newspapers in Japan?
Three big companies. It's major. No, not the small companies.
Okay, big companies.
Yeah,
Well,
Yomiuri, Asahi, Mainichi, they are very big companies. Because Japanese people are subscribing a lot the newspapers. So three big companies is the biggest in the world.
okay. So major corporations
Mhm.
own. Okay. Uh, okay. in the United States, for example, there's another guy, I can't remember his name, but Rupert Murdoch, the Koch brothers, and so another guy basically owned, these three people own like 90% of the media in the United States.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little hard to believe when three people control that much of the press.
These three big companies even control the new TV or radio.
TV, radio, and newspapers.
Yes.
And magazines, for that matter. Time magazine.
Yes.
Koch brothers. Yeah. Which, in my opinion, makes it a little hard to believe mass media. You know, the big ones. CNN, New York Times, like that. Fox News, etc. Right. I mean, Ken brought up the problems of independent media, or, you know, the little guy. Do you think that's true? Do you think there's too much mass media control?
Not controlled. He said about the press club. It's major news media can enter that club, but even small companies or magazines can get information in another way. Following someone or something.
Following someone, hiding in the bushes. Click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Paparazzi. Okay. Okay. Ken, thanks for the link.
It's very information on the press club because because of
cool.
published in several years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
From Japan Times.
All right. Thanks. I'm very interested in this topic, so I'm interested what people have to say about it. Ciao. It's your turn. Tell me about freedom of the press in China. Oh my God, Ciao! I just heard that China has now. Hang on, wait a minute. You have to. I heard that just yesterday or today even. Yes. China has banned Big Bang Theory TV show from China. OMG. How could they do such a horrible thing? It's a crime against humanity, Chow. How can you possibly justify?
Well, first, can you help me? I was afraid I was censored now. Oh, you can.
No, you're not censored.
Okay, so the Big Bang Theory was banned by the Chinese government, and it was ridiculous. Heard about that? You know, the Chinese government are taking control of this service, the TV show, and they want to translate it by their own, use some clean languages to translate it. So they take off the Big Bang Theory show on internet. They want to do it by their own, so they do that, and I think that's stupid, and I don't think they will translate it. They just want to remove it because ideological things, I don't know. Cause I don't know, you know, the new government is just empowered their control on the internet, block it. It is bad for me actually. And Chinese.
Okay, so I mean, can you? I know you can because you're a genius and you're here on Verblink, so you can do anything you want on the internet. So not you, Chow, but for most Chinese, could they get access to Western media,
well,
like BBC,
maybe,
CNN, or
maybe
Washington
BBC,
Post?
CNN, and Fox News to some extent, but for others like New York Times was blocked in China,
right?
And also some I don't know, it depends on the media's ideology, because you know the BBC is more like neutral, so it wasn't blocked.
Yeah. Interesting. What do you think about that?
And you know, one thing is interesting is that the cards of house, no, the house of cards, you know that shoe? What was that
House
name?
of Cards?
Yeah, House of Cards didn't get blocked in China and at all.
Oh. Do you mean Game of Thrones? No.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't blocked in China at all. You know, the House of Cards, because maybe the Chinese government think you see the U.S. government are as corrupted as we do, so they didn't block that shoe. And to
Wait. What is House of Cards?
you know, House of Cards, you know, the TV show about the uh, what's that name? Have you ever seen that show?
I,
It's not TV show, but a TV series.
what's it about?
It's about the U.S. A congressman called Underwood, and he and you never heard of that? It was hot, and
No.
no, you have no idea. Okay, fine.
No, sorry. Okay. I all right. Okay. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think you know when government to take control of that, they prohibit that, it will have some blowback effect that people will
hmm,
against that. The people will say, well, why do government block that? So I will say why. And then when they see the contents, so they will feel like, oh, the government just blocked me and they have some, I don't know, they don't want to listen to the government. So I think it will have some side effect and negative effect on people. And
yeah.
I think there is a big loss for the people to get educated with some knowledge or something. They block all the things, and that is totally a bad thing, and it's still get processed by the government.
Okay. Nice English co-location. Blowback effect. Okay, which means basically, oops, their action kind of rebounds and then has a counter reaction. All right. Yeah, it's kind of like telling my children, now don't take those chocolate chip cookies on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm going to go over here into my office. Don't take those chocolate chip cookies. Of course, what are the children going to do? They're going to immediately go for the chocolate chip cookies. That's what humans do from the time we're 2 years old. Uh, yeah, I think you maybe have a point there. Chow, I can hear you today, but it's a little bit low. I don't know if there's any adjustments that you can make, or I don't know, move your microphone or something. I
I'll
can
put
hear
my
you
microphone
okay, though.
close to my
Oh, that's
mouth.
better. Well, that
Okay.
works. That was a simple solution. Okay. Very, very good. Uh, okay. All right. Pavel, I'm gonna go back to you. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do you know what I mean? On the spot?
On the
Yeah.
spot. Ah,
On the
okay.
spot.
On the spot. Okay, I understand.
Okay. I'm going to put
Uh,
pressure on you. Put the spotlight on you. Pavel. Okay. Pavel, uh, at least the Western press is reporting that more and more newspapers, websites, blog sites, many things are being um, censored, blocked in Russia. Is that true? Do you find any websites, newspapers, or news services being blocked lately?
um, no, maybe. It's we need to separate the situation with TV and internet and the internet.
Okay.
TV, most part of TV company uh, are owned uh, with government people.
Mm-hmm.
And in this way, TV company speak, yes, TV company speak, yes, TV companies speak with authority position.
Okay. All right. Speak with authority position or speak for the authorities, because that's two different
For.
things. Okay. Okay. All right. So, okay. TV speaks for the authorities. So, is the internet different then? That's what.
Yes, the internet is different thing. Um, it's very difficult to block the information in the internet at all. And I cannot say that many blogs or sites are blocked by government. It's not real. But I cannot say exactly. Maybe most of people as real want to see government or authority position. Want to see I asked Google
Okay.
about this word.
Okay.
Support, yes. Support or support, yes. Most part of people right now, most part of people support the position of government. It's a real situation. Maybe it's strange, but it's real. Maybe
Okay.
80% or 90% people support the government position, and they don't want to see insulting sites or blogs.
Insulting.
At all.
They don't want to see an opposing point of view.
Yes, yes. They don't want. They don't want to see opposing point of view. Yes. But if somebody want to see this position,
They could.
They could, yes, they could find out or find a lot of opposite sides. It's
Right.
no problem.
Okay. I see your point, and I totally understand what you're saying. And okay, let me. The way I see the media sort of evolving and changing, and exactly what you're saying, and not just in Russia, but in the Western world, in the United States, in many places, people just want to hear what they want to hear. They've already decided they don't want to hear evidence. They could care less about evidence or facts. They have an opinion, and they want to watch the news that supports the opinion they already have. Okay? And media today, since it's controlled, as in Japan, as in the United States, as in Russia, is controlled, as in China, is controlled by very, very, very few people. So basically, the media puts out very opinionated news, and the people only want to see the news which matches their pre-existing opinion. So nobody ever learns anything from the media anymore. It's a circle. It just keeps going around. And so balanced reporting just doesn't exist anymore. People just look at news as entertainment as a sort of feedback loop mechanism to reinforce their existing beliefs. That's pretty deep psychological stuff here coming from me. Am I crazy or what, Julio? Am I imagining this, or is this really going on, or am I just insane? It's okay if you think I'm insane. I think I'm insane at least half the day, so that's perfectly okay.
Well, you
Yes,
do.
I tested this situation. I maybe several weeks ago I put to my site a very hot, very sharp material.
Okay.
But many people mailed me about this, and they saw, yes, they saw me to remove this material from my site because this material insulted them at all.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. You might say instead of sharp material, I understand in Russian that sharp has different uses, similar but not quite the same. In English, maybe controversial material or
Controversial material. Yes.
highly critical, maybe highly critical material, maybe. Okay, hang on. Let me talk to Julio. Julio, am I losing my mind, or is the function of media totally changing to just be? It doesn't matter. Nobody wants to know the truth. They want to hear what they want to hear. Have I lost my mind, or is that really happening?
Well, first of all, I do think that you're losing your mind, but for different purposes, different
Thank you.
reasons.
All right. Thank you.
And well, I can just speak about my country. I I just think that, as you said, media here is controlled by only a very small group. And in Mexico is actually not a group, but just a pair of guys, which are which are the owners of the largest TV stations in Mexico. And the other day, I was talking with a friend. She's an anchor if an important news uh, program here in Mexico. And I mean, the most insulting thing here is that it's not only that they have alliances, that they have a script that they have to follow, that they have to cover a lot of things that are going on in our country, but that they are threatened, they are risking their life and limbs if they publish something that is not allowed by this control group. And there are many cases here in Mexico. Actually, Mexico is one of the most dangerous countries in the world to be a journalist.
Ah, okay.
And she was just telling me there is nothing that we can do here. People that work in the media, we have no control. We know that if we try to risk ourselves and saying something that it's not what we have to say, we know that we are gonna pay that with our lives. So the only thing that we can do is try to do our best, try to give useful information for society, and with useful information. I think that she was referring to the weather or maybe a traffic jam, but
More like practical information. Yeah.
yeah, like practical information. So definitely, I agree with you. And now I used to believe that the internet was going to be our savior, that internet was this wild zone where nobody would ever be censored and where everybody can share their opinions about everything. But now I can see that internet is also being controlled, not like in China that they are censoring things, but they are flooding the internet uh, with information that is not the truth.
Yeah.
And young guys, youngsters, they don't really research about what they read on the internet. They just follow the trend, and they are using the internet as another way to control the population here in Mexico. So they
Yeah.
are turning the internet against us, not by censoring it or banning it, but by providing the wrong information or misleading information on the internet.
Yeah.
So we are pretty
Um,
much screwed.
right. Okay. Right. You pay for that with our lives, not pay that with our lives. Pay for
Pay
that with
for
our
that.
lives. Liked your phrase, risking life and limb. Okay, that excellent. Excellent
Co-location.
English collocation or expression, or maybe both. Yeah, very good. And I agree. I used to work in internet marketing, and that's how the internet works, ladies and gentlemen. It's purely quantity. So if a government wants to pay people to make 1,000 comments on an article or a blog, that's going to be #1 in the search engine, and 98% of people do not search past the first 3 items in a search on Google or Yahoo or any kind of search engine. That's how they do it. It's very, very simple. It's not rocket science. It's pure quantity. So if the government wants to put a message out there, they just load it up with lots of hits. And it's not hard to do that. You can actually create programs that will just keep hitting one website, so that website will appear as #1 when you Google these key search words. Not rocket science. Very simple. So it's easy to make the information available what you want it to be. Good point. Excellent point, Julio. You're exactly right. Ken.
Mhm.
Geez. Do you think I'm insane? Or for what reasons do you think I'm insane?
No, considering current situation and the system and the technology, yeah, there's no wonder. And some specific group of people can control information. That's
Yeah.
how history goes. I think it was happening in the past as well. But thanks to the internet, we can get such kind of thing a bit. New technologies usually it's not easy to control. Like TV. TV at the beginning they can report relatively free. So in the Vietnam War era, American broadcasting broadcasted from the front line of the war actually. So
Right.
American family shocked what happened in Vietnam or American youth or Vietnamese people.
Yeah.
That's why anti-Vietnamese movement happened. So after that, American government or military, no, we need to control that.
Yeah.
Now, like Iraq or Afghanistan war, we cannot see such a scenery. What is really happening under the kind of sky, kind of bombing sky.
Right.
So
Far away.
maybe such kind of regulation control is happening in internet now because many people realize internet is a powerful tool to collect information.
Yeah. Oh, such scenes. Okay. Probably not scenery. Scenery is pretty
Yes.
mountains near the lake. So I I wouldn't call people's arms and legs being blown up as scenery. Oh, check out the scenery. Oh, there goes a flying head. No, not scenery. That's a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You know, what you said is 100% true. When I was a child, I remember we would watch TV, and I remember watching the Vietnam War up close and personal, like live, and people actually being killed on television in front of you. It was really, it traumatized me as a child. It made me turn into this crazy person you see before you today. Yeah, it was very traumatic, quite honestly. I don't know what to tell you. Pretty scary. Actually, Esmeralda, going back to Mexico and following up on Ken's point about getting the up-close and personal view of things. I know and you know that there is a terrible problem with drug wars in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Do you see that up close and personal on TV, in the news in Mexico? Are there ever reporters right there reporting when there's bam, 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 shootouts and
Yeah,
crazy?
actually, yeah.
Really?
You know something? Almost I
What?
was in twice. It happened to me twice. I was almost in the middle of gunshots and everything. So yeah, really, yeah. Here, where we live in Veracruz,
Uh-huh.
and they were really struggle in a really big fighting. So it's really terrible. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it
of
is.
course, I've been through it. Is it right to say that? Mm.
Okay. But are these things being reported on the news? I- do you think that there's
Now,
real coverage of that?
you know something at the beginning when all these struggles started. At the beginning, they were downloading on the internet. They were many information about all those kind of things. But you know something?
What?
After a while, the problems began because because as Julio said,
Mm-hmm.
reporters started to die. They got killed, and some information about all the fighting they were not reporting on TV, not on. I mean, not in every in any kind of media. So they were covered, and that's what I told you. All right, I'll try to tell
Right.
you before, but I didn't know how to use the words or how to explain that our
Okay.
situation. I mean, but
Right.
that's what's happening. That's the media. They're not allowed to tell to tell people what's going on, what really is going on in Mexico. But
Right.
really, there's a really fighting, and I mean, I don't know. Julio was telling me that there's an alliance, Julio?
Yeah.
An
Yeah.
alliance made or what?
Alliance.
Alliance, an agreement.
Alliance.
I imagine you mean between the cartels and the government and the media, the people who control the media. All right, this is the way it's
Yeah.
going to be. Yeah, or
Yeah.
at least the government and the owners of the media. Those two
Yeah. Of
people,
course.
all
Yeah.
two of them, all two of them. Yeah, so it's not
Yeah.
hard to make alliances. You know, it's funny. Most countries, I think most of all of our countries have government rules preventing monopolies in business, economic monopolies. But why and the United States does, But why is it that there are no rules about, you know, monopolies in the media, in the press? Or there doesn't seem to be, you know, 2 people in Mexico, maybe 3 people in the United States. It's ridiculous, really. So, of course, that's what monopolies do. They control. Chow, go ahead.
Yeah, I just say the government itself is the most monopoly in this world.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. That may be a point, and there's a discussion for another day. How much of your government is your government, and how much of it is a bunch of guys controlled by big business and oil and military industrial? Or is your government just a bunch of puppets that are dancing to the tune of the big businessmen, really? So,
They're puppets.
they're puppets.
We are in bed.
Yeah, well, that would be a class for another day, I suppose. Okay. Very interesting points made. Thank you, everyone. But I'm afraid we're about out of time. So thanks so much. Very interesting conversation. And I'll see you guys again on Verbling. See you later.
Thank you very much.
See you later. Bye.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye bye.